Warning. The facts you are about to hear are based off 2 hours of researching the pros and cons of history's heroes and most controversial figures. This is Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. Are we?
Yep, we are recording. Timer's going. We're good to go. What's going on?
We're good to go.
How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel great. Who knows how I'll be feeling when this episode airs, but right now I'm in a couple weeks straight of good vibes and good things, and hopefully I'll keep it going all the way up until this episode drops. And what episode is it?
Man, this is episode 13.
13?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, no, because we're going to be further ahead. God damn. This is going to be like episode 20 almost.
Damn.
We're getting up there.
Okay. Well, whatever episode it is, I wasn't even asking you for the number. I was just...
Oh, you wanted the person?
Yeah, because the numbers is hard
my
to figure out.
My flame. It is the great CHE Guevara.
CHE Guevara. You've seen him on T-shirts for sure.
Hola.
That's actually, I don't really... Well, before doing research, I didn't really know much about him at all. I just saw him on T-shirts, and I knew that he was like something to do with revolutions. Like,
Yes.
I didn't know how closely he was tied with Fidel Castro, because every time you hear stuff about Fidel Castro, you hear bad guy, but then you see Che Guevara on T-shirts, like, but that was like his dude. What did you know about Che Guevara going into this?
I always knew, growing up, I always knew revolution, right?
Yeah.
Like he was a revolutionary, right? In the same ranks almost as like Malcolm X and like all those type of people, right?
Militant.
Yeah. Even more so almost, because he actually was like executing on the thing he wanted to do.
Definitely more so. If Malcolm X if Malcolm X was this militant in the United States, buddy,
I'd be a king right now.
Like the government, it would have been a whole. We would have a whole different history. We might not be able to make this podcast right now.
There'd be no wall. Definitely not. And Mexico would be a third.
Or
black.
There'd be more walls. And they'd be all around people. White people.
Man, but yeah, that's all I knew. Revolutionary. And then later on, as I like actually grew up, I actually found a movie that was like depicting his whole career based on the stuff that he's known for.
What was it called?
I think it was just called Che.
Okay.
And it was all in Spanish, and it just had subtitles. Or Cuban or whatever. And from there I learned that he did some wild shit with Castro. Like they started with like 8 dudes. Yeah. And they just fucking slowly invaded and fucking accrued more people and more people and more people. Ended up taking something that ended up taking over Cuba. But Che Guevara, I know for a fact that I shouldn't say I know for a fact, but they say that he didn't want to do it unless Fidel Castro agreed that they take over all of South America as well after.
Wow.
Like first Cuba, he's like, but then all of South America.
Interesting. I'm not surprised by that. I didn't hear that, but I did, like, before he got on this whole like revolutionary tip, he traveled across Latin America and he witnessed the poverty throughout, and he
that makes sense.
And he witnessed how much America's playing a role in it, like their whole capitalism, imperialism, like basically buying huge parts of land in these countries. Yeah. Using only a small part of it, but then there's like all this extra space that's not used. You got all these people that are poor that can't farm, and he was just like looking at it like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we're killing our country, just selling parts of it to America to make money, but then we're leaving our own residents broke as fuck.
Yeah.
By the way, in that movie Che, I just wanted to look up who played him, and it's a great actor, Benicio del Toro.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I gotta check that out.
Sick movie,
but it's all in Spanish, eh?
But it's such a captivating story that like you don't really like.
I don't like reading,
but I know, but it goes away. I hate reading, but like for that, I watched that movie like 4 times.
Okay,
reading the whole time, like, and then it gets to a point where you don't even know that you're reading, because such an interesting story. Like the way they meet. I think they met in like, I want to say like they met somewhere else. I want to say Mexico, I think.
Yeah.
And they met.
Yeah, it was Mexico. They met in Mexico.
And then they started like talking, and they made that whole excursion, and it was just wild.
Yeah, because at the time, I guess Fidel Castro was already on that like rebel shit, but he didn't like have come up with a plan yet. So him, his brother, and some more some more rebels were
Yeah.
were pretty much like, I don't know if they're hiding out in Mexico, but they were staying out of Cuba for the time being.
Yeah.
And then once Che Guevara came in, that's when they started making the plan. Yo, we can go take that shit now.
Bro, and that was their plan. It's a crazy plan. That's like back to who? Christopher Columbus?
Yeah,
Just give me 50 men.
50 men and I can go take it.
Yeah. He's just like, all I need is 7 more of you guys. and
It
we're
was
good."
yeah, it was wild. Now the first thing that came up when I looked up, Che Guevara, good guy, bad guy. There was in 2017 this like doctor of history had this quote: "We'll still have to wait many years for history to deliver a definite judgment on Che, when the passions of both sides have passed." So right now, there's still a lot of people that lived in that time, or parents did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to have a strong opinion on either side depending on what side of that rebellion were you on, because there was the side of Che Guevara where he's a hero for the poor,
Yeah.
and then there's the side where it's like there's no getting around it. There was mass murder, there was killing, like you know what I mean? Like he definitely bloodshed to get his cause.
True.
Right? And the one thing that I see, we're not experts here. You know what I mean? We do our research. We learn what we can learn. Now, when I was looking into stuff about him, so much of the hate for him comes with what happened in the aftermath, as Fidel Castro is years of being a dictator. Now, they overthrew a dictatorship. When you're going to overthrow that dictatorship, everything at the time is like, you obviously you're doing it for a cause to make things better. You're not expecting a next dictator to be worse.
No.
So to hold that against Che Guevara, I guess you could because he was so instrumental in getting in getting Fidel in. But personally, as we're going through the pros and cons of Che Guevara, I'm not holding Fidel Castro's sins against Che Guevara.
Yeah, that's hard to do. Especially if you because I feel like if Che never died and they just kept going, I think it would have switched.
Yeah.
Like if they got South America too, I think Che would have been like, okay.
Is Fidel Castro still alive?
No, I think he died recently.
Recently, eh? Yeah, because
he did. He did.
Like,
and people
was
were
it this
saying,
year?
No, it wasn't this year. But people were dancing in the streets. That's how I know it wasn't this year. In Miami, people were dancing in the streets, and they said people in Cuba as well. But then also some people said in Cuba they were very sad.
That's it. It's so hard to tell. Like, cause I've heard lots of bad things about Fidel Castro's reign.
Yeah, of course.
And I've seen documentaries about like athletes, like baseball players that escaped, and it was like a very scary time for them.
My grandmother left. I think she left before he
Cuba?
took over. Yeah, she's from Cuba. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Cubano, man.
So what? You don't have anything to say about
Fidel?
Fidel or Che? Like, did she have an opinion on either of them?
No, I told you I never met them. I would have loved to know her opinion on Cuba. I never met any of my grandparents. But the one from Cuba, yeah, she left. She escaped, quote unquote. She definitely wanted out of there for some reason. It's wild. Have you ever been to Cuba?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, so you've never seen it? Yeah. So when you go there, you know how they talk about North Korea and it's like Kim Jong-un everywhere. It's like that with Fidel Castro. It's just things of him everywhere. Quotes is everywhere. It's all over. As you're driving, billboards.
So as it stands right now, and I was trying to get how is Che Guevara respected in Cuba right now? And they have murals of him and everything. They say he remains a national hero. His image is on money still. It's on the 3 peso.
Yeah.
And school children every morning, some people say morning prayers, some say national anthem, but everyone does "We Will Be Like Che."
Oh yeah.
He's like that dude. He's modern yourself after Che Guevara.
I actually know one thing about their army. When you do really, really well, you get Che'd. Like the way you would get knighted.
Yeah.
In the UK, you get Che'd.
You're Che now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I believe Che means man.
Okay.
Man.
The man Guevara. Wow. So every morning the school children say, "We will be like Che." And in Argentina, there's schools that have his name. There's museums, and then just in 2008, a 12-foot bronze statue of him was unveiled in the city of his birth, Rosario. So he has statues. He's definitely seen in Latin America as like, yo, he put on for the poor. You know what I mean? And he's respected.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, I'm sure some of it's like genuine, and then some of it's like, I'm sure you're not allowed to like spit on Che Guevara.
That's
statue.
what's so. That's
You're
what's
definitely.
so.
It's not like fucking Ulysses S. Grant. Like you can't fuck around with that shit. In the places where Che Guevara has statues, you're not allowed to just vandalize that shit.
It is. You can really make a case for both sides. A heroic champion for the poor, or a ruthless warlord. All right. Before we get into all the pros and cons, one thing, just a biased pro for me. I just found out today, Che Guevara was Irish.
Really?
His dad was Irish.
Wow.
Yeah. So those Irish roots, those rebel roots, like when you think about who raised him, his dad like must have had that like
that fighting Irish.
That fighting Irish for the poor and everything.
Crazy.
So that was definitely a pro for me. His dad had Irish origin. So I don't know if that means he came from when he was a little kid, but either way, I like that part.
That's dope. So his mom was probably Argentinian.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So he was Irish and Argentinian.
Yeah.
That's a wild mix, though.
It's a fiery mix.
That would make for somebody who would do what he did.
Mm-hmm. So, first he was becoming a doctor, and as he was traveling around Latin America, like doing school and all this stuff, like he went on a 5,000-mile trip across Latin America, and he saw how capitalism and the U.S. influence was keeping South Americans poor and making it a playground for foreigners. Like all the nice things that were getting built up were for foreigners, and then the actual residents of these countries were basically like, yeah, their land was getting fucked. They didn't have enough money to build up and everything. Like they were getting screwed over by their own government. Their own government was selling off good land that they could have farmed with to America.
It's like when you're with a phone company and you see this amazing new deal and you're like, oh, let me get that deal, and they're like, nah, it's only for new customers. And you're like, what do you mean? I've been here.
What about loyalty?
And they're like, nah, not for you. Sorry. That's what he was doing, basically.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm so torn about it because I've always thought he was great. And then I talked to my buddy's wife, who's Cuban.
Yeah,
I didn't really talk to her, but I
let's
talked
hear
to
about
him relaying stuff. And then like he's talking about how horrible he is. But his main argument was like, oh, he hated black people. And I was like, I'm like, that's something people always run to try and make black people not like something
there was
that they don't like. And I'm like, that's like, ooh.
What?
Racist statements.
Yeah. You just because I wasn't gonna bump to that right away, but the fact that you brought it up, I'll bring it up.
That makes sense. Like
it makes sense. So in Che Guevara's diary, he wrote that blacks living in Caracas, Venezuela, calling them those magnificent examples of the African race who have maintained their racial purity thanks to their lack of affinity with bathing.
Wow.
So
that's very well said. That was a crazy insult.
There's so many big words there. Like, so he says that they're a great example of the African race because they've maintained their racial purity. Basically, like saying that they're staying pure to their race because they don't take baths.
He's like they're staying. They're keeping it real because these niggas never took baths anyway, and these niggas is dirty out here.
But was that that was like a backhanded compliment? No, yes. he was negging them.
Yes.
Or he was nigging them. Is that legal?
Holy fuck! That's so wow. But that would make sense that they would feel that way. Like people, I won't say people from South America are racist, but like they deal with a lot of racism over there.
Oh
because it's like team light skin and team dark skin, and then it's team Spanish dark skin, team Spanish light skin, then it's team blue eyes and this and that, and then people of Indian descent. So they got
all kinds of mix up,
a bunch of shit.
He wrote, "The black is indolent and a dreamer, spending his meager wage on frivolity or drink. The European has a tradition of work and saving."
This guy's writing fucking racist poetry,
right?
What's wrong with this guy?
Fucking, you get insulted by Che Guevara, you're like, is that a song?
Jesus, he eloquently just puts people down.
Yeah, spending his meager wage on frivolity.
He's hoping they won't understand. He's like, maybe no black person will understand if I say all this stuff.
I barely understand.
Jeez, see, makes sense.
So
Because he's from Argentina.
Is your buddy's wife black?
She's half.
So she probably she probably doesn't like him then.
She's half, but like people from like Latin America, they're like, they just are what they are. Like she doesn't see herself as like half black. She's like, it's like my dad's Cuban, I'm Cuban, we're Cuban. Yeah, wow. It's weird.
I don't want to jump to this point, but fuck.
What are you about to do?
I don't want to jump there because I wanted to go.
You want to wait a little bit?
Well, it's just okay. We are gonna come back to this later, but all I'll just say is when
how racist is this statement that you want to hold on to?
No. It just goes in a different. I had organized my notes, and now we're jumping around. But I will bring it. I'll bring it up. So when Che Guevara and Fidel Castro overthrew the government, they like I said, they were overthrowing a dictatorship. Like Batista, the guy that came before him, was not a nice man. Like and his men that were running the government were pretty brutal to the people that live in Cuba. You know what I mean? They weren't treating them nicely. So when it came time, when they took over, not only were they, getting the government for themselves, they were killing off the guys that were there before. So all of Batista's men that were left behind, basically they, without trial, without anything, they just they killed like at least like 500 guys.
Oh, that were all under Batista?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you got to do.
And they said many of the people Che was sending to the firing squad members were disproportionately black and mulatto.
Oh, Batista.
And Batista was mulatto. So.
Oh, was he?
I didn't.
That makes sense.
I didn't know how race was tied into that, but now that we're on the racist things, like maybe he not only was he getting rid of the men, he's like, yeah, make sure you round up those black guys, especially.
Yeah, he's like, those ones are wild. He's like, I don't want to have to deal with any of that.
Not only was he pretty hard on black people, he was very hard on the gays. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like, come on, this guy's a man's man. Never not had a cigar.
So they said that he created a system that put gay people in labor camps.
See, yeah.
Which is crazy to me. I never knew that gay people went through that. Like a lot of people will say, "Oh, the F word isn't as bad as the N word because they haven't have as much bad history." You know what I mean? They didn't have to go through slavery, but apparently they kind of went through some tough camps in Cuba at least. So if you're a gay guy from Cuba, do not call him.
Yeah, right.
I won't say
but you can't, like, come on. Yeah, I guess that's their slavery. I guess those camps.
So Che Guevara co-founded the only one in modern history that herded gays into forced labor camps.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty. What do you call that?
See, but at that time, right? They're like, oh man, he wants to put the gays in. What do you mean, good white gay? Are you kidding me? Is that what he wants to do? Like they were probably throwing black people and all sorts of Asian people and all sorts of Irish people, all sorts of shit at this time. And then they were all like, whoa, gays too? This guy's a little much. Why is he doing the gays? Some of those are our people. Why is he doing that?
Yeah,
everything was bad back then.
I'm just imagining a gay Cuban camp and gay Cuban work camp, like probably.
Bro, it's probably because I mean gay, yeah, but there's probably a bunch of dudes like Yoel Romero. You ever seen Yoel?
Mm.
Probably a bunch of dudes like that.
Hey,
I love you. Come over here.
Hey. I'm trying to think of Yoel Romero's a great guy.
Yeah. my buddy's wife, actually cousins with that dude.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So weird. She's like, that's my cousin. That's my cousin.
You gonna throw me in a camp for fucking a man? What? ¿Qué pasó?
Let me out. I love that accent. I love his voice.
But yeah, gay people were among targeted groups, people who have decadent capitalist culture. Ooh, so is that why he didn't like gay people? Because they were like on that capitalist culture shit?
Oh, really?
I don't know. Anyways, let's go back to...
There's probably many reasons. That's the thing, right? Like, how many of those gay people were just black? You know?
You keep coming back to this black thing.
Well, if he didn't like black people, then maybe he was just like... making excuses. He's just pointing out every little flaw in black person he could.
Wow.
I have no idea.
So okay, when they were doing their rebellion, this is when the violence started, obviously. So he unleashed a reign of terror, killing any suspected spies or defectors. So if you weren't with the rebellion cause, like yes, you're dying. You know what I mean? So Che Guevara was definitely not afraid of killing people, and sometimes they said he would kill without guilt or without regard for guilt or innocence. He'd be like, I don't have time to figure this out. Like I suspect you. We're not going to figure out if you're guilty or innocent. You're just getting murdered.
Yeah, he was like, listen, we're a young place, man, and this is a young regime, and we can't have it. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? What do you want to judge?
And we can't have you walking around. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, he was actually, I think it was in front of the UN. He walked up in front of the UN, and he had a big ass cigar. You're not supposed to smoke in
really?
The place. And he just had it, and he's smoking, and he's like, executions? See. Execution. He was just talking about execution. He's like, we're going to continue to do it. He's like, and we're not stopping. He's like, and you guys don't tell us to stop. He's like, we're going to execute whoever we need to execute. It was crazy.
When I was looking for like good and bad on him, one of the YouTube videos that came up was just like the truth about Che Guevara. So I click on it, and it's only like a minute and 20 seconds long. And what it was it just said Che Guevara, revolutionary, and then it crossed it out and it just put mass murderer, and then it just started popping up a bunch of faces of people that he killed.
Oh damn!
And I was like, this is not informative.
Well, yeah, he was involved in a lot of killing. So was Fidel Castro. I mean, if you see the movie, you see what they had to do. Like, it was a literal war.
They said he was
over.
He was at least hundreds, maybe thousands of people that he killed.
Yeah,
or responsible for. You know,
it makes perfect sense because when they were going through the place, like it was like you join, and if you didn't join, it wasn't like you could leave. It was like, yo, we got to kill him. And so as soon as somebody said they wouldn't join, it was like exactly what you just said, guilt or innocent. It didn't matter. It was just like, yo, kill this dude and let's keep going.
Now let's bounce back to some pros. He also did some great things along his rise. Even though he was coming in murdering people, he also built schools and hospitals
for the new people.
And he was really important in like getting education for a lot of poor people. He got the literacy rate up to 96%.
True.
That's great.
It's amazing.
This guy loved to read and write, and he's like, I want to get you guys in on all this action.
Yeah, he's like, I need you guys to understand these insults I'm dropping.
I'm writing sick, racist poetry over here. What, you can't read that?
This Negro poetry is going over all y'all heads, man.
It's a tough. Yeah, you gotta. My literacy rate is not high enough to understand like the insult. I know he said something racist, but it's like I don't really get it.
I had to say it. I had to like read it twice. I was like, okay.
Now here's a bad one. Like, especially like, it really makes you think like dictatorship. So when they took over, Che Guevara was in charge of like finances and a couple different things in the government. And one of the things that he did was he suppressed all free press.
Oh damn!
So there's no freedom of press. So like he's like, yeah, what do you guys got to give your honest opinion on things? No, let's just talk good about this new regime.
True.
So that's a tough one. You know what I mean? When to be a revolutionary and then to say like, don't talk anything about what we're doing bad over here. You know?
Yeah, it's almost like a massive. It's almost like a massive Chaz. As soon as they took over, they just became worse.
That's the fucked up thing. So while they were on the road to becoming the new, power in the country, I wonder if his intent, like, because he was doing good things along the way. He was helping the poor a lot. He was. There's no doubt about it. He schools, hospitals, that's important. And even like the goal of getting rid of USA's like influence being so heavy there, giving them a chance to give their own people a leg up instead of giving all that good land and everything to America. Now, when they took over, his comment about the newspapers, he said, "We must eliminate all newspapers. We cannot make a revolution with free press."
Damn.
Newspapers are instruments of the oligarchy. What's oligarchy mean?
I don't know.
Okay, let me look it up.
You can highlight it and then right click it.
Well, it's too late because I did it the old-fashioned way.
I'm just saying.
A small group of people having control of a country, organization, or institution. So they're basically...
He's like, you're fucking with my shit, basically. That's what he's saying.
No, because he says newspapers are instruments of the oligarchy. So I guess he's saying that...
Of the small
that the liberal elite that don't want communism in here.
He's like, we just got in here and these guys are trying to take over. Fuck these guys.
Yeah.
They're going to use the newspapers, yo. Which is true.
It is true. It is true.
It's happening today.
Yeah.
People all the time.
Yeah, so I put that down as a con for him, but he's not wrong.
Yeah, for
while you're trying to make a revolution, and then you still have the capitalist newspaper like giving their hit pieces on what you're doing, like yeah. So I don't like suppressing the free press. Obviously, like you should have the option to look at both. If anything, he should have built up his own like news source too.
Yeah. It's weird. It's very weird. It's very weird because it's like, yeah, you don't want to suppress it, but weird. Yeah, I'm thinking like for the greater good, but it's like that's not good. You can't justify that for the greater good.
So before it got suppressed, Che Guevara, when he first arrived in Havana, he moved into the biggest, most luxurious mansion in the city. A journalist wrote about him. A journalist wrote about it, and Che Guevara's goons paid him a little visit.
God damn. What they do? They murdered him, eh?
It just says they paid him a little visit. Let's see.
Hold on, my friend. You wrote something in the...
You're right about Che.
You have to take it down. Why do you say this? Porque Jesus.
You want a revolution? Or... I don't know.
Don't forget Jesus. Don't forget Jesus. He got in so much trouble for saying that.
Okay. Oh, the goons showed up. The men took him to Che, who gave him an ominous show of signing 26 execution approvals in front of him. So they just brought the journalist to him, and he's just like, "See all these people? They're about to die. Yeah, just keep watch. I have you in a drawer over here too."
Oh yeah, he for sure did that. He was smoking a cigar, and he was like, "My friend."
He said, "I can have you shot this very night. What do you think?" "I can have you shot this very night."
"What do you think?" Huh? And he's just going like this. He's,
yeah.
"Maybe I should put your name down."
Yeah, there's no trials. There's no guilt or innocent. It's just like,
no, he's just.
"Oh, you're writing about my mansion?
Yeah.
What does this look like? MTV Cribs?
Yeah.
Fuck that American bullshit."
Bro, which is honestly terrifying. That's terrifying. Imagine a public, a government official, I guess you can call them that. Yeah. Imagine them doing that. How crazy would that be? First of all, being able to sign executions.
Imagine imagine the episode that we go back a couple weeks, our New Year's episode, the 2020 episode, and they hear us talking about the way government handle and everything, and then all of a sudden Justin Trudeau calls over the bad boys of histories to Parliament,
right?
And he's just like sitting there with the AK-47, and he's like, "You thought it was sweet over here, eh?
Bonjour, hi. And he's just sitting there with a vaccine. He's just sticking himself with a needle. Heard you guys got something to say.
Guys, I don't want to be like this, but we must control the narrative."
Yeah. He would be terrifying to talk to.
Justin Trudeau?
Yeah.
In blackface?
He'd be like, "Hi."
We get to his office and he's just finishing putting on the last coat, like Rambo in the jungle, and he's just finishing putting on his blackface. We're like, "Why do you have blackface on for this combo?"
He's "Bonjour, like, hi. So, I heard you guys were saying some stuff in straight blackface. Don't worry about the blackface. No one will believe you."
Yeah, you were never here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Justin Trudeau was in blackface and he threatened me. Okay, guys, now you're really on that conspiracy theory shit.
Who told you that? The guys from the podcast?
He suppressed all freedom of press.
But
that's kind of what. Okay, not that that's happening. Not that there's a revolution going on right now, but all these times where somebody posts like something about COVID or whatever, and if it's not like up to government standards, I've seen people like have their Facebook posts taken down because it's like misleading information, but it's like everything's misleading information. I don't know what to believe. It's all fucked, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're calling it misleading based on what? Like that's just like it's like you post something that's like a doctor saying something that's different than the narrative of another doctor. Why is like Why does that doctor have to get reported?
Like you can't get a second opinion?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very weird. Very weird. So that is happening right now, but there's no revolution happening. But it's because I think the media acts a lot faster now. And it doesn't seem like Che wanted to work with the media. He was just kind of like, shut this shit the fuck down.
Yeah. We got this.
He's like, you don't need a newspaper. You don't need it. Just work.
That's some American bullshit.
Yeah.
Newspapers? How about we just work? Yeah, he had a messiah complex too, but which I'm not surprised by because people like if you just seeing him on all these T-shirts and stuff, it's like he had a messiah complex. He left a messiah fucking legacy.
100%. He's on T-shirts everywhere.
I see myself the great equalizer of an individual, will proclaiming the ultimate mea culpa. What's that mean again?
Apology.
Oh. I feel my nostrils dilate, savoring the acrid smell of gunpowder and blood, the enemy's death. I steel my body ready to do battle and prepare myself to be scared. No, not to be scared, sorry. To be a sacred space within which the bestial howl of the triumphant proletarian can resound. Wow. Che Guevara, man, you use way so many big words, bro.
Bro, he sounds like us. And you see how he started it too? I see myself.
Yeah.
And he paused for like 3 seconds. ...
Yeah.
And then he went into it. Like, that's crazy. That's a very like Napoleon. That's a very like way far back thing to do. Like he was born in another time. Born in the wrong time, I should say.
He was?
Yeah, that's like something like a real like I guess he was a conqueror, but like that's something like
he was definitely a conqueror.
Alexander the Great would say.
He was like the first were they the first like communist fucking thing in South America?
I don't know. Maybe.
Cuz they linked up with the Soviet Union hard and then so apparently it was Che Guevara's idea for them to hold on to the missiles from Russia too.
Yeah.
The nuclear bombs, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, when all that was going on, he really wanted to strike America, right?
True.
It was turning the world upside down, and when Russia wasn't down, he's basically like, "You guys are being pussies right now. Like, let's hit America." and then since Castro had to have like a tight relationship with Russia, that's when he's like, "All right, Che, you can't be calling Russia a pussy right now, so you got to dip."
Oh yeah, because Che was getting wild.
Yeah, so he left, right? He left,
Did
and he's like, "I want to start a revolution somewhere else." So he went to Congo in Africa.
Oh wow.
And he's like, "You guys, let's do a revolution," and they're like, "Nah."
They're like, "I thought you don't like black people."
I know. They're like, "We heard what you said. We didn't know what it meant, but we heard what you said."
We looked up every single fucking word. You can get the fuck out of here with all this shit.
These guys are just coming. These guys are coming out smelling fresh. They're like, "Oh, you think we don't wash, buddy?
We're too busy showering, bitch.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
No time for a revolution. Sorry, we got soap."
So after he got rejected in Congo, or like he couldn't really build up much steam there, he went to Bolivia. Apparently, he's like, "Okay, now we're really, we're gonna get it done in Bolivia."
You're
but
some lighter skin, we have to get it.
Bolivian army and CIA had they linked up. The CIA got in on it, and they fucking
killed him.
Oh, captured and killed him in 2 days.
No, they didn't kill. I thought he died of cancer though. They probably just captured him.
No, they captured him and killed him in 2 days.
No way. I thought he died of cancer.
Okay, what the fuck?
What? Oh no. Wait, Fidel? No, not Fidel.
No,
Fidel never gets captured. Fidel's like, I had this plan from the beginning, my friends. Can you imagine you meet Fidel Castro and he's like, "Hola, my friend. Hola, hola. How are you?" That'd be wild. It'd be crazy if that's how my grandmother talked. Hola, my grandson.
Hola, Colin.
My grandson.
Where's your death here, bud? Fuck Wikipedia.
There has to be. It wasn't just a section that said death. Come on. They love to fucking talk about death on there.
Legacy. Oh, see, execution.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. After the execution. Damn. Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how I heard that he died of cancer. Someone said that he got cancer. And because like he was all smoking cigars like a madman.
Cruel leaders are replaced only to have new leaders turn cruel. He said that, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, because he knew.
So
he's like, I must turn cruel.
Damn.
He's like, of course I'm gonna be cruel.
Yeah, I like looking at these old guys. Their quotes. You know what I mean? If you tremble with the indignation at every injustice, then you are a comrade of mine. So this guy was basically an SJW.
Yes. Ooh, yeah. See, yeah, that's the thing, right?
Was Che Guevara just a big pussy?
Whoa. SJWs aren't pussies anymore, bro. They mask up, get all in black, and smash shit up,
shit.
Bro.
Yeah, you're
They don't play games anymore, bro. Get your windows smashed. Give me another quote. I like this guy's quote.
I know you're here to kill me. Shoot, coward. You're only gonna kill a man.
Wow. What?
Run up, homie.
You think he said that before he died?
No.
That'd be wild.
Maybe when they captured him, though.
Yeah. Shoot, coward. You're only going to kill a man.
They probably brought him in for questioning for whatever, and he was like, I'm not doing shit. Because they only kept him for 2 days before they captured him, and they killed him 2 days later. So it's not like they kept him in prison for a while. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
And the CIA was in on it. The CIA must have hated this guy because he was really like fucking up their bag in Latin America. That's very interesting that the plan was to try and get all of Latin America in on it, that you heard.
Yeah. He wanted all of Latin America to be taken over. He thought all of those people, and I guess it was from the poverty that he saw, he thought all those people should be liberated. In that. Or maybe he was just like, yo, these people are so poor, I could take this shit over.
The revolution is not an apple that falls when it's ripe. You have to make it fall.
Ooh.
I like that.
It's not an apple. Don't wait for it to get ripe. You got to just shake the tree.
And this is a perfect one for your girl. Silence is an argument carried out by other means.
Ooh.
Are we arguing right now? It's so true. It's so true.
Silent is just an argument carried out by other means.
Yeah. You're carrying out the argument by not talking.
Yeah. It's like a tactic. Bro, great thinker, man.
Great thinker. Oh, great thinker, great writer. Now, I don't know, man. I honestly, going through all the pros and cons, like I get that he, they must have overthrown a really bad dictatorship. I'll say one thing about the dictatorship that they overthrew, even though that Che Guevara didn't end up getting along with America either. Even JFK said that the guy before him, what he called the reign of the guy before him, the worst example of economic colonization, humiliation, and exploitation in the world.
Who said that?
JFK said that about Batista.
Oh, okay, true.
He said that about the one before. So the guy was a bad
apple.
He was bad. Like he was definitely screwing over all the Cubans were getting fucked by the government because he was basically colonizing and exploiting all the land for financial gain, but like the country's not seeing any of it.
Yeah,
it's just one guy and his men, his black men.
Yeah, 100%. He was mulatto. He's like, yo, everybody eats, bro. What up? He's like, yeah, we're gonna have to kill people, but everybody eats.
They were making frivolous purchases.
Of course,
gay men were getting all flamboyant and wearing gold chains, and Che Guevara's like, fuck that shit.
Like these men should be working. I don't understand. They should all go to jail.
You're gonna be gay and you're not gonna read any of my poetry?
You're wearing chains. Go to jail.
Let me bring that literacy rate up.
Attach that chain to a jail cell, please. You go to jail.
Apparently that literacy rate thing was like one of the biggest things in history, though.
That's huge, man. That's huge. And you know what? Like after hearing all this, I definitely know. I can see why my buddy's wife doesn't like this guy. Why my buddy doesn't like this guy.
I don't get why he's on so many T-shirts. To be honest, after reading all that, like it's like they overthrew the government, but then Fidel Castro wasn't that great. So it's like I get his intentions were good and he did a big thing, but like
I think
how does he get so much love?
I think it's because everything that's up is down. So like people like you'll praise your oppressor kind of thing now, and I think it's just because he represents an idea as well. It's not. I don't think people wear those shirts with the idea of him like not liking black people and like all that shit. They look at it like a guy who's like this needs to change, and then he like went after that change in
Yeah.
the worst way he
Well,
could.
and I think a lot
Maybe.
of the reason people love him also is because of all his diaries and writings from his travels in Latin America, like saying what he saw, how he saw the poor people, like dreaming of a better day, having like ideals of, you know, giving back to the people of the country. So all they say, if you want to love Che, read the Motorcycle Diaries. Like that's where people get their like love for him.
Okay, so that makes sense then. So like
And that was pre-revolution.
yeah, so people are like roping up his whole life.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, the man he was.
And that's what made him want to overthrow the government. And that's the thing. Like, he was coming from a good place. It's just like he said, you overthrow one dictator, one cruel dictator, you fucking just turn into a new one.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Damn.
Lauryn Hill.
Is that her quote?
Yeah.
God damn, Lauryn Hill. Yo, Lauryn Hill, she's sick, eh?
She's a genius.
I went to see her concert one time, and I've heard mixed things. I've heard some people have bad experiences when they go to a Lauryn Hill concert, like, because she's a bit of an unpredictable performer. But the one that I went to, she was really good.
Dope.
Really good.
Of course.
And she's very passionate artist. Like, live band and stuff. And while she's singing, she's like, you just see her like basically like not yelling at the band, but being like, yo, hit that shit.
Yeah.
And it was hyping me up. Like, I was fucked up. Maybe it wasn't that good of a show, but I was like, she was playing the songs that I love. Yo, Lauryn Hill,
Man.
you're sick. We love you.
So yeah, like, so that's why I think he's on so many shirts. People just think like, yo, this guy,
he's an ideal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like so many people, like, when people talk about Tupac, they're not talking about like the horrible shit that happened in his life. They're not really talking about the reasons he went to jail. Like, when they wear a Tupac shirt, it's because of the idea of change and standing up and, you know, and all that shit.
He's most famous for his struggle against social injustice, slavery, and ethnic discrimination. Even though he was kind of mean to blacks, his greatness is the reason why he was selected by Time magazine for the most influential people of the 20th century.
Whoa. Che was chosen over.
Not number one. He was like top 20 or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I wonder if Fidel had to be in there too. Bro, when he went to the UN with a cigar, that's a wild scene, and it really happened.
Yeah, what? Yeah, that sounds sick. Yeah, I love when you put a cigar in your mouth to do anything. Like, you're gonna look a little cooler doing it. So the fact that these guys were overthrowing a government with cigars in their mouth, like, pretty cool.
They were like the Rat Pack, bro. Dean Martin, all those guys. Yeah. Big, and it wasn't like one of those pussy cigars. It was like one of those big,
of course,
dirty cigars.
Yeah.
Just smoking it.
It's interesting that he was, he's all about social injustice, slavery, and ethnic discrimination, but at the same time, he was putting gay people into camps.
And, you know, hating black people.
Like the hating black people, so they overthrew a government of people where the black people were in charge, like probably being mean to his people. So, like, when they overthrew it, like, you're acting like, oh, we're taking care of the bad people now. These are the bad guys. We're killing the bad guys. We're, like, you know, saying bad things about the bad guys. But it's so fucked. Like, that's the thing about history. Like, yes, he did terrible things, but then you have to wonder, because at that time when they did it, like, Cuban people they said from outside, when you saw him killing 500 of these men, from anyone, like, internationally, was like, this guy's a monster. Like, there's no trial. Like, this guy's just killing all these people that were serving under that other guy.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, people in Cuba were like, fuck those guys. Yeah. Justice.
True.
So it's so.
And I could believe both.
Definitely.
I could believe that people were like, yes, justice. Like, I mean, right now it's like, there's people who don't like what was happening with the riots, like people burning shit down. If all of those people got rounded up, just the people who actually caused destruction and burnt shit and killed people on either side, people would be like, there's a lot of people who'd be like, yay, justice. But then the whole world would be like, yo, what the fuck did you guys just do? You just kill a bunch of rioters? They'd be like,
yo.
Right? But then people here would be like, yo, but they burnt down my business. It was great. Like, I just wanted it to stop.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So it's like, ugh.
You have people now where it's like, oh, you're not wearing a mask. You're making us all, this whole COVID thing last longer.
Oh,
if we lived in a fucking overthrowing the government regime where they're just like, we're gonna kill all those people that aren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
So that we can all get exactly what we want.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
That'd be fucked.
Oh, man.
I'm surprised that's not happening in any parts of the world because it's such a divisive thing here. In like people, basically like, you know, we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
They're looking at the other side with hate. Oh, you're not listening to the government's order. You guys are fucking this up for everyone. Oh, you're listening to everything government said. You're fucking this up for everyone. So, if that's how we're feeling here, where we don't go around killing each other, I wonder in like a country where it's a little more loose with like who you're allowed to shoot at and stuff.
Well, you know what? With those other countries, as much as there's like caste systems in the world and racism and stuff like that, those other countries, when it comes to stuff like this, they're all like one country. Whereas here, we're always like Irish in this thing and black and Nigerian and this and that. So it's easier to get divisive with people like that. But like in, say, India, it's like if the police come through, because like they'll like come through and just like smack whoever's not wearing a mask. So it's like,
that's crazy.
and the people just be like, yeah, smack them. Who gives a fuck? So there's no like divide really where they're like, it's us against them. It's just like, yo, wear it. Let's fucking wear it. And they're like, whatever, fuck you. It's not the same here. And plus, people don't, the news isn't as sensationalized in other places as it is here. Like here, making maskers versus anti-maskers, making that a narrative makes money. Like
True.
It makes millions of dollars. So, and sells masks.
So how do we sell Che Guevara t-shirts? What would you say? What would you say is our marketing if we were going to sell Che Guevara t-shirts off this episode? Guys, right here, you can get your Bad Boys of History Che Guevara shirt right here.
Yeah. It would have to be like a blood print, you know, like his face, but it's red, dripping blood, you know, and it'd have to be upside down. Ooh, like the anti-hero. You want to be anti-him, so he's upside down. That's how we do it.
With the quote, with that quote about the cruel, overthrow the cruel, become cruel, whatever, you know.
I was thinking more about the black people not showering. Put that quote.
So put him like plugging his nose and like looking at a black guy.
Holy fuck.
Rounding up some gay people, putting them in a camp, and just saying one of the greatest social justice
warriors ever. Wow, that guy.
I wonder how SJWs feel about Che Guevara, because it sounds like he was doing a lot of like their thinking, but a lot of their opposite too.
So many people don't know. Like, I mean, my buddy was like breaking it down to me. This is years ago too.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know any of this. I just knew him to be the guy that overthrew this place that was ran by somebody bad. But in that movie, they don't really go over what he did.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they don't really go over what he did. They go over it a little bit, but it's not like super raw.
Even the bad that came from what he did, like as far as like how Fidel Castro like reign as president went, it's not like before like they took away something good. It's like, yeah, the people in power have been treating the country like shit. Like it's not been a nice thing for a lot of people either way. So I don't know. I don't even know what I was trying to say, but
you know, you know, one thing I always say though, when it comes to this, is if these guys didn't do this, right? So it's horrible what they did because they were killing people, doing this and that. But then you got the literacy rate, and you got like a lot of things. Like I remember my uncle met Fidel Castro.
Really?
Because he like came to, I think either my uncle was in Africa or he came to Barbados for some reason, and he like got to shake his hand. But either way, he was like helping. He was helping the country in some way. I forget what he said though. So they did some shit. But what I'm saying is, if they didn't do it, maybe Cuba would be like Haiti, in the sense of like maybe America would have came through and been like, yo, let's spread some of this freedom around. Let's take the best parts of it. Let's make hotels here, and whoever lives here, fuck them. Like, who knows? Like, what would happen if they didn't do that and like all of a sudden become this entity that's like nobody can come in? Like, I think America would have went in there and fucked those people up, because they were slowly. Cuba used to be like Vegas at one point.
I heard that. Yeah. That's why they have all the like
old cars and
old
shit.
Nice cars. Yeah.
It used to be wild over there. So
have you been to Cuba?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
A bunch of times. Wow.
Yeah, Cuba's fucking amazing.
Like, do you have you visit family there? Or?
No, I have no idea.
You just go to like all inclusive?
Yeah, it's dope, bro.
I heard the food's bad though.
It depends, man. If you just like meat, if you can just get by on like some meat and like some like regular shit, it's all right.
So what's bad?
I don't know. Some people want fucking McDonald's. You know how people are. They fucking go to another country and they're like, yo, why isn't it like home?
Nah.
They're like,
I've heard
where's
specifically
pizza?
that Cuban food is not.
Yeah, that's what people always say. 'Cause it's like,
I'm down to go though. I heard Cuba beaches are amazing.
Because it's like, what are you expecting? Like, people are expecting some shit. Like, when I went to like a 4-star and the food was good enough. But I'm Cuban also, so.
Hey, what are you gonna say? Right. Yeah, man. So what do you think? What do you think about Che Guevara overall?
I 100% understand why my buddy's wife is like so anti him now. Like, after you saying all that and breaking it down, I get it 100%. I get how the rest of the world could see him like that, but I can also understand why some poor people at the time praised him, because they were like, yo, nobody else is like trying to do anything for us. And they don't know, as you see somebody like making a revolution in your country, you don't know what they have in store for you. Yeah. You just see the bad thing that you don't like going away.
Exactly. You want, like, same as anything. Like, yeah, like this past year, everyone that's mad at Trump for being an ignorant fuck, whatever, you see him getting out and you're more excited about getting him out, but then you're not realizing on the back end of, oh, what's the new bad stuff coming in? So
exactly.
Obviously, it's not as extreme a case as a dictatorship, but it's always the same thing. Like, sometimes the hate for one person can make you totally overlook the flaws of the person that you're putting in their place.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. So we have no idea. So,
but I do wish I watched the Motorcycle Diaries before we did this episode, because
next time let's watch some movies of the person we do. Let's watch a movie of them. It's like a cheat sheet
to warm up.
Yeah.
Because they're saying to love him, you watch the Motorcycle Diaries or read the Bolivian Diaries, which the Bolivian Diaries is a diary that he kept writing like right before he died, and apparently like that makes people like him too. So when he was living on the come up on the revolution side, he was always writing stuff that people were like, yeah, this is great. Mm-hmm. But when the one taste of power he got, he murdered a bunch of people. He suppressed the free press.
He turned cruel.
And he turned cruel.
Yeah. Right.
But he also got sent away, and then I guess he tried. As people, I don't know much about the Bolivian Diaries, because it sounds like he didn't spend that much time there, but that's just one of the things that they say. If you want to like the guy, he's Motorcycle Diaries and Bolivian Diaries.
He's a charming person. Like, when you look at him, you look at pictures of him.
Oh,
he looks good when he has the long hair, like you got right.
I let my hair down. I put on a green shirt. Right. I'm feeling Che Guevara vibes. I just don't know if I'd wear his shirt on his face on my shirt, because I haven't seen Motorcycle Diaries yet.
I got a Che Guevara shirt.
Do you?
I got it in Cuba. And then my buddy, like, weeks later, told me about Che Guevara, and I was like, well, fuck.
You know, he's a mass murderer and he hates black people, right?
I don't like when anybody leads with they don't like black people, because I know that's a little ploy. That's how you poison the waters. That's how people always start it.
Yeah?
Yeah, if somebody starts something, like with you, if they start by like, yo, you know what that guy did to Irish people? It's because they're trying to pull you over right away. What's funny? They're trying to start with that.
I thought you were gonna say white people, and I'd be like, yeah, I don't like white people either. But when you said Irish people, I'm like, no way, they didn't say that. The fuck?
No way.
I have way more Irish pride than white pride. That's
you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know.
Oh, you'll never beat the Irish. Yo, and the fact that Che Guevara was Irish.
That's pretty wild.
No wonder he was so good looking.
No wonder he didn't like black people.
Hey. When I was in Ireland, when I was 17 years old, they were unveiling a statue of a black man in Dublin. The lead singer of Thin Lizzy. I think his name's Phil something. Let me see.
Thin Lizzy. That's who you guys pick, Ireland?
What do you mean? The boys are back in town.
Oh, really? You made that song?
Philip Paris. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Never
Tonight
mind.
There's gonna be a jailbreak.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, they had to.
You never heard Thin Lizzy? They got a lot of good songs.
I didn't know that was the name. I had no idea.
Yeah, so let's see his statue.
Everybody knows that. Damn.
So, yeah, there was
gotta go to images.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, there he is.
Wow, they actually
They
made
were-
like a real one.
They were unveiling that statue when I was in Ireland. And I was like, that's cool. Ireland's unveiling a statue of a black guy. You know what's funny? Both times I went to Ireland, maybe it's just because I look out for this kind of stuff, but like
Unveiling
I
black
know-
statues.
no, the last time I went was the Obama Center.
Oh, really?
It just got made, and I don't even know if Obama ever went to Ireland. They just love him. They just like, this guy he was great.
They like him?
Yeah. They
Really?
like Bill Clinton too.
Really?
Bill Clinton stopped by in the 90s. He stopped by Ireland, and like it was like everyone was going crazy. It was like a rock star shit. Like when he came,
Really?
like, oh my god, the president of the United States is here.
How many cigars do you think he went through?
Bill?
Yeah.
Is he a big cigar smoker?
No, he stuck one inside Monica Lewinsky.
Oh shit. Yeah, he got some pale tail.
You think he just had a bunch of them in Ireland? He was just out there, just using it like his shillelagh.
What the fuck happened here?
That's Irish, right? The shillelagh.
Shillelagh? What is a shillelagh?
I don't know. I think like people always refer to their dicks as shillelaghs.
For real?
It's like I think it's a blunt instrument that they used to use in like Celtic times. How do you not know? You don't know about shillelaghs?
I've heard the name, but I don't know what it is.
Man, whatever, man. If you asked me about BBC, I'd know that. I know what that was.
Yeah. Okay.
I could break it down for
When
you.
when I was in Ireland last and I was wearing a shirt that says "Jam Easy," somebody thought it was like a sexual thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh.
You want to jam easy?
You want Jam Easy?
You want a bit
Oh,
of
yeah.
jam easy?
Oh, happy days.
We'll have none of that jam easy stuff in here.
Mm.
Outside with your long hair.
Anyways,
They're
Ireland likes black people enough to make a statue of them, and to make the Obama Center. So
Bro,
don't bring that racist filth over here.
Caribbean
You-
people
You
are
Cuban
Irish.
piece of shit. No.
Man, like they are Irish. Like
Yeah,
people
you have
from the
a-
Caribbean are very mixed with Irish. Like that whole accent is just an Irish accent and an African accent. That's it.
Oh yeah.
That's what patois is.
I say the two coolest cultures in the world to me, like as in charming people from there,
True.
like just cool. The people that you meet from there are usually going to be cool. Is Irish people and Jamaican people.
Yeah, true.
Everything Irie.
Yeah, you'll find the
Happy
coolest
days.
ones and you'll find the worst ones.
Yeah, all right then, pet. What happened, baby love? I'm just saying they're cool people. They got cool things to say. They got good music.
They do. I didn't know he was Irish, but I'm sure that has nothing to do with him being racist. I'm sure that just has to do with all the poverty and shit that he saw throughout South America, and he probably thought blah 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 about people being responsible for their own situations, and he probably just back then I don't know. Like I always say, back then people were racist, but we're not going that far back with Che Guevara. we're not going to the 1700s or anything.
So
Yeah.
this is, I know, sorry to bounce back, like take away from Che Guevara again, but now that I'm just thinking about Jamaica and Ireland. So there's a team in an Irish soccer league, Bohemian FC, and they actually had jerseys with Bob Marley's face on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how much they love it. And then, so apparently Bob Marley's family was like, hey, you can't use his image. So they had to change it, and they changed it to just a black fist.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Look
Just
at that.
this Irish team just having a black power on their head
Yeah, but they can. Yeah, of course the Marley family came out. and
out
said
of
that.
Dublin.
They can't be
The
like.
Dubs.
You can't call Bob Marley Mr. Green.
Mr. Green.
Fuck.
That's who they're sponsored by, Mr. Green. But
Oh, true.
yeah, no, it's Bohemian FC. Check out that. I would love that jersey. That jersey's pretty sick.
That's a dope jersey.
Anyways,
you've
okay,
proven you're pro-black. You've proven yourself.
I'm
You always have to prove. Every time a white guy lets his hair down, he has to prove he's not racist.
I'm proving Ireland's not racist. I didn't make these jerseys. No,
But-
that's what you're here for.
But all in all, what did you think about him? Because
What
you
I
didn't
think-
know you didn't know much
Okay.
about him to begin with.
Now, as we're looking through things, and I admire the revolution and getting that old dictator out. But yeah, it's just a shame that he linked up with Fidel Castro. I feel like maybe it's not a shame. Maybe it was a necessary evil at the time. But
Yeah.
just knowing that the aftermath, like I said, I'm not going to hold Fidel Castro's sins against him, but what Che Guevara fought for ended up not being a good thing. Like it was a good thing to get the previous one out, but what they ended up gaining was another cruel dictator. So
Yeah.
it's a shame for that. Now, when he went away, he had good intentions again to try and do that in Bolivia, whatever. They say his Bolivian diaries are like going to make you love him. His motorcycle diaries of traveling through Latin America, like the dreams of what it could be, how people are getting mistreated, like all of that's good. But what actually happened as an end result of his efforts was not great.
Yeah.
I get
not great.
I feel it's hard for me to give a finished opinion without seeing this motorcycle diaries now. So I'm ashamed to tell you guys I didn't do all the research I could have. Now that I realize that's what makes you love Che Guevara.
It's not gonna sway you enough, bro. Because you're gonna think of the 500 people. You're gonna think of all your black friends, and you're gonna be like, Che wouldn't fuck with Jamal.
Ooh,
what the fuck?
That's crazy.
Che wouldn't fuck with Jamal.
Jamal's a good guy.
The fuck?
No.
Yeah.
No. That's actually a good point. When you think about people being racist or so homophobic that they're putting them in camps, that makes it tough to think about how he would be looking at a black person and saying,
right,
oh, you don't even take baths. You know what I mean? That's how he's looking at them. Like he looked at them as less human than him. He would
look at me like the cleanest Negro he's ever seen. He'd be like, look at you. Wow, so clean. Look at you. I'd be like, Jesus, stop, man. He'd be like, look at you. And he'd slap me around and stuff.
Yeah. Do you think he would like Yoel Romero?
Yeah.
He'd have to, right?
He'd be like, this one can fight.
Yeah.
You fight, yes? You know how to use a gun? Yeah.
I wonder if Yoel Romero likes Che Guevara.
Yeah, I wonder how like people like that, like, because he would be. I think he's considered Cuban elite. No, like he's rich, he's Cuban. Like I wonder. I know, like Che, because no, because he's not for Jesus.
Did he have to? He reminds me. By the way, Yoel Romero looks like a Boss Wahab to me a lot. A Boss Wahab comedian. Guys, check him out. The immigrant section.
If he worked out, yeah, that would be all him, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my man's an Aries. What up?
I don't know why I pulled up his Wikipedia like as if it's going to tell me something about Che Guevara. I want to know his thoughts on him, but
wow, so racist. You just thought that it would just be about Che Guevara. You're like, he's Cuban.
He's Cuban. Where's the Che Guevara stuff? Anyways, shout out to Yoel Romero. Yeah, I think I will watch Motorcycle Diaries, and the week that this episode comes out, I'll either post a picture with a Che Guevara shirt because I'm on his side now, or I'm still thinking that
you'll know,
all that racism and putting gay people in camp stuff. It's like, if your whole thing's about social justice and that's the kind of shit that you're on, it's a little tough to get behind that.
Right? Because what are you gonna do next? Who's next? I think anybody who can make a camp for people that they don't like or deem less than or whatever.
Yeah.
Not clean.
You guys are being capitalists, buying all those condoms.
That's wild.
Che, we're trying not to get AIDS over here. Why don't you stop having gay sex then?
Yeah, he's just
what?
Like,
we can't just stop being gay. And he's like, that's some capitalist shit.
Yeah,
that's some
weird.
He's just, you know what? I think he just thought Americans were gay, and he's like, whenever you were gay, he's like, oh, you're acting American right now. Put him in a camp.
So American. Look at you.
So American of you.
So American. But no, like you know what I think at the end of the day? I think these great men, like when I say great, I mean like accomplished great things, great feats. They're always like deep with like this guy's charming but racist, determined but homophobic. You know what I mean? Like they always have these weird layers to them. Like he's a beautiful writer, but the things he writes about are like, fucking like they're wild. They're out there. I can't even say they're wild. They're out there. They're just his thoughts. So it's like it's weird to always see this like how these guys are always racist but amazing at what they want. Like this guy, in my opinion, is a great manifester. Like he manifested some shit. He
really did.
And now he has a whole website dedicated to his racist quotes.
No, this is just a section of a website.
Oh, it's just a page?
It's just one page.
You've said a lot of racist stuff if you can fill a page with your racist quotes. You know what I mean?
We saw that one already.
The Jay-Z one? Oh, and Jay-Z's wearing his shirt.
Jay-Z's
See what
wearing
I
his
mean?
shirt,
It's
yeah.
like, you got to remember, man, the internet wasn't like prevalent in the time where people were really banging these shirts.
I envy you, North Americans.
Oh, no.
You're very lucky. You are fighting the most important fight of all.
Oh.
You live in the heart of the beast.
See
I don't
what,
get why. How's that racist?
See what I mean? Like,
Was that racist?
no, it's not really a racist because he's saying the heart of the beast because, like, North America, right? I guess it's racist if, like, he's, like, demonizing white people.
These aren't racist quotes. This is bullshit.
Yeah, some of them are just quotes. It looks like they're
Yeah.
just, like, trying to get some views on this thing. Do not have friends.
It's a sad thing to not have friends, but it's even sadder to not have enemies. Do you have any enemies?
Yeah.
Do you actually have enemies?
Yeah, I got people who don't like
Maybe that's why I'm depressed. I need to get some enemies.
Yeah, I got some people who don't like me like that much, you know. Some exes and whatnot.
A revolutionary must become a cold killing machine motivated by pure hate. Did he really say that? I think this is a bullshit website. I'm closing it down. I'm shutting her down. Yeah, okay. So overall, he got the literacy rate up. People know how to read now. I can't understand what he's saying, but he was a great writer. Hospitals, schools, hope for poor people, hope for people living in a capitalist society where they think like, the liberal elite are going to keep them down, but there's a way out, and the way out is murder.
Murder and doctors. You murder who you don't like. You doctor the people you do. That's it. That's how you keep thriving.
Hospital for you, bullet for you.
But you know what? Actually, you know what? No, that's actually Fidel Castro. Never mind. I was going to say Cuba sent like a massive amount of doctors to Africa to help all sorts of Africans. Like a lot. They would do that a lot to help. But it wasn't Che. Che was like, no.
Yeah.
Keep them here.
So overall,
this guy was a conqueror, and he was
a
vicious conqueror,
smart,
and what we know about him is only a fraction. Like what we see that he's accomplished is only a small fraction of what he actually wanted to accomplish, which is fucking wild.
Yeah. It would have been good to see how that could have played out. But
he would have become like Hitler.
Really?
If he took over all of South America, and Fidel Castro just stayed to Cuba, and then Che ran all of, like, he would have to become like because then what would he do? He'd be like, okay, who's not riding?
And the whole thing was to get America's influence out and to take back every country, basically. Like that was.
So he would just have to kill certain people.
Damn.
That would be like, you're too white. He would get to that point. He'd be like, yo.
Nah, come on. His dad's Irish.
No, he'd be like, you're a little too white. He'd be like, you're American. Maybe if you were Irish, he'd be like, I feel for you. You're all good.
Yeah.
But if you're just like California white, bullet in your brain, bro.
Damn, son. Yeah.
So I think all in all, fucking, he's like a smaller Genghis Khan almost, without the rape.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he was killing a lot. Very vicious, but he understood what he was doing at the same time, which is kind of, I don't know if that's worse or better.
Well, he also said, I am not a liberator. Liberators do not exist. The people liberate themselves.
Ooh. So he was like, nobody said I was a nice guy. You got a problem. Do something about it.
I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Yep. So, yeah. I knew when the great guiding spirit cleaves humanity into antagonistic halves, I will be with the people.
You know, I take that back. This nigga was more like Kanye West.
Yeah?
That's what he was more like.
Well, he definitely had that Messiah complex.
Yeah,
sure.
That's what I mean. Like, these quotes are, I don't want to say delusional, but like they're bordering it. You know what I mean? Not to say Kanye West is delusional. But I'm gonna say he's delusional.
Yeah.
Yo, are we gonna wrap this, or should I change the battery?
We can wrap it.
Here, like now we're in this camera. Hey.
So there we are. There you have it, guys. This is an image of what it could have been if Che Guevara would just put his arm around his black brothers in Cuba.
Hola, my friend.
And you know what I mean? They don't smell bad.
Can you help me with shower, please?
Ah, come on.
Por favor, may you help me? That's what he thought. And he was like, I'll clean you up, buddy. Rubbing down black folks.
He's like, black people smell too bad. Gay people smell too good. Anyways, Che Guevara, social justice in his own way. He did it his way.
Yeah.
This is the bad boys of history. Pros and conquerors, baby. Share it. Tell your friends. Be like, listen to these idiots.
Yeah.
Talk about history.
And to those people listening, rate, review, all that stuff.
And follow Colin at Colin's Process.
Colin's Process.
And me at Jam_Easy.
Jam Easy Entertainment. More to come.
Jam Easy Entertainment.
Is it there? All right. Peace. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Pros and Conquerors, the bad boys of history. Rate, review, subscribe, and share. And remember to participate on our Instagram and shit and all that good stuff and blah, blah, blah. Follow us on Instagram.